The Outlaw, brand new Netflix original film, hit the streaming service last week. The film is directed by Tyler Spindle, who's coming off of directing two Netflix original films, The Wrong Missy and Father of the Year. His third outing with Netflix. This one stars Adam Devine as Owen Browning, who is a bank manager who is about to marry the woman of his life, Parker McDermott, played by Nina Dobrev. And after all these years of not being around for their daughter, Parker's parents return to the fold. Billy and Lily, played by Ellen Barkin and Pierce Brosnan. What happens is something very much goes wrong. Owen's bank has been robbed, and the person that he thinks robbed his bank are his incoming in-laws. Also in the movie is Michael Rooker as a police agent who is going after whoever robs the bank called the Ghost Bandits. You have Richard Kind and Julie Haggerty as Adam Devine's very awkward and cringe-worthy parents. Lil Rel Howery is Tyree, one of Adam Devine's character's co-workers, and Lauren Lapkus as well as Phoebe King, the rival bank that Owen manages. The film is an hour and 35 minutes and is rated R. Welcome back to a brand new Netflix review here in Mac Talks. We're going to talk about The Outlaws. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. First of all, have you even heard of this Netflix original film? If you've seen it, did you like it? Did you not like it? Please like the video, guys, as well. The thumbs up button here is how you support this channel, so please hit that thumbs up button. So I kind of had no expectations. There were no buzz around this movie coming in. If there's another movie with no buzz, it usually means one or two things. Either it was really, it could be a surprising. A lot of movies on Netflix where there's no buzz, but I really like it, or there's no buzz because it's bad. Now, it's clearly going to be on one of those for me, but we'll get into that. With my positives, the negatives, I'll give you my score out of 5 stars and my percentage. So let's move into the positives with The Outlaws. I do think that the best part about this movie that keeps it watchable is a very talented cast. This movie is produced by Happy Madison. So, of course, Adam Sandler is a producer on this movie, as is our lead character, Adam Devine. But as most Happy Madison films are, it's a pretty stacked cast. And we look at Devine and Brosnan and Barkin and Dobrev and Lapkus and Michael Rooker, Richard Kind and Lil Rel. It's a very stacked cast that is very watchable on screen. Now, I am a big fan of Adam Devine, all the way back from Pitch Perfect to Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. He's and Workaholics, obviously, in The Righteous Gemstones. He's very, very funny to me. Now, while he's definitely doing literally what you expect him to do in this movie, he's still a likable lead actor, as is Nina Dobrev. She's been a very likable actress for a long time. I'm going to get into, I guess, a problem with her character, but herself, she's a very likable lead actress who I think needs to be choosing projects smarter as she moves on. She's picking a lot of these Netflix original films where she just doesn't get to show off how good of an actress she is. And I think there's a really good actress in there, but based on her project, she just hasn't been able to show that just based on her own. And of course, a very likable duo of Ellen Barkin and Pierce Brosnan is also a very welcome sight, especially the dynamic between the surprise I'm actually of Barkin with Devine is actually a lot stronger for me than the dynamic of Brosnan with Devine. It's obviously it has to do with the characters, but I was shocked how much I really liked Owen with Lily. They're a really good mother-in-law to son-in-law duo that I was not expecting. I really enjoyed him. Always liked seeing Michael Rooker, which again, he was in more things outside of really just being known for being Yondu and Guardians of the Galaxy, but he's very good. And there were definitely some jokes that definitely made me laugh in the movie. I think I laughed a lot more than I was expecting. Now, there wasn't tons of laughs, but I was definitely laughing more than I thought coming in. And especially there's actually a really good job, I think, with both a couple of the bank robbing scenes and how, especially the latter bank robbing scene and how you can, kind of the twists and turns of how to rob a particular bank in this movie, I actually enjoyed. And those were my favorite aspects of the movie. So, as you can tell, I'm not a huge fan. I was getting my negatives. Overall, just did not enjoy myself watching this movie. Feels like I've seen this movie a billion times, and everyone's doing the usual stink, which gets very old very quickly. I'm Divine, someone who his humor is a lot of singing, yelling, crying, snot, all these different things that add to his comedy. And if you can really handle him, I think, for 30, 45 minutes at 100%, but Adam Devine kind of goes full on for the entire movie. And I think instead of being acting like a regular person, he acts more like a cartoon character that he does act like a human person. And that's how I feel about this whole movie. It just doesn't feel, it feels like more of a cartoon than a realistic story. I think another problem is they really heavily sideline Nina Dobrev's Parker character, and she's very likable. She has very good chemistry with Divine. But as I said, Dobrev has just chosen some really bad projects in her career. You can add this one to the list where it just doesn't get to show her off in any possible way. Again, good chemistry with her co-lead, but other than that, she's kind of just when something happens to her character, she's kind of gone for the majority of the movie, and it was a bit of a disappointment because I actually liked Parker and Owen together. So you can see as the comedy, just what it was very much a lot more miss than it was hit. Also, as I said, I've seen this movie a billion times. Of this guy who's a bank manager who ends up having to rob a bank to save someone who they love. You've seen it a billion times. Also, you've seen it a billion times the incoming mother-in-law and father-in-law with the son who's marrying into their family. You've seen that a billion times. You've seen the parents who have never been there for their kids but just show up to the weddings, at least the wedding week. You've seen that a billion times. I feel like there was just nothing original in this entire movie. I think easily the worst part, I hate to say it, is, and I like the actress a lot, Porna Jaganathan. I definitely said that name wrong. I'm very sorry. I was trying to say it right. She plays the villain of the movie, and the villain is trying to be the funniest person in this entire movie, and she's not funny. And because they continue to keep feeding her joke after joke after joke as the villain, you just never feel like anyone is in danger in the movie. And it kind of pulls me out of the movie every time the villain is on screen, because she obviously has a lot of charisma to herself. I think she can be funny, but the character as a villain just can't be a joke. And everyone is just written to be a total joke in this movie, really, except Parker. And the only person who actually feels like a real person is Parker, but she's barely in the movie. So there isn't any sense of realism or stakes or someone's in danger or this, that. And the comedy, especially with a couple of the side characters, including Jackie Sandler's Kay character, the villain character. Michael Rooker just felt pointless. He was just nothing special to that character. So overall, I mean, this is definitely a bad movie. It's not one that I'm going to remember in a year. But that's my thoughts on The Outlaws. Overall, while it's a very likable and really star-studded cast, and while some of the jokes work, and I really enjoyed some of the bank robbing scenes in the movie, overall, it really comes down to no one really feeling like a real person in the movie, except Parker, who is sidelined for the majority of the movie. Our villain is a bit too comic, and this movie feels like a lot more of a cartoon than it does at all any sense of realism added into it. So overall, I'm going to give The Outlaws on Netflix a 1.5. Out of 5, I'm going to go 30% for The Outlaws. What are your thoughts on this movie? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.